Okay. Oh, there's a Chrissy snort. Starting the show with a Chrissy snort. Okay. From Southern California.
Yeah.
From the desert.
Yeah.
It's only 104 degrees today.
What feeling, Al?
But it's dry. And it's the Suzanne Somers Show, and here she is.
Yay. Yesterday, I filmed. Did I film or video? I never know what to call it. I used to have quite an understanding of if I was filming something or videoing, but now it's digital and it's this and that. And I was probably the primary interview for the John Ritter special. ABC this summer is doing 4 specials for actors of note who are no longer with us. And it was so bittersweet doing that about John Ritter yesterday. I had so much to say about him, and so much feeling, because, I never wanted to leave that show. But what was interesting about being over at this house that the crew had rented, you can rent houses for the afternoon in Palm Springs. I don't know, it feels a little weird to me. And they started imitating Alan Hamill opening the show. And we went out for dinner the other night, and we're walking through the I call it audience because you have to kind of walk through the crowd to get to our table. And people were going, "It's the Suzanne Somers Show." So Alan's becoming kind of note. Anyway, hello, Caroline.
How are you?
Caroline is gallivanting around Florence right now. It's 2 or 2:30 in the morning there. She just got home. Yeah, she's been out drinking, partying, I can't control them. Yeah, I can't control them when they're over there. It's like, when you're the mother and the grandmother, you just have to let it all go. They'll do what they do. So
there were so many nice things said about you at dinner tonight. You would have been tweaked.
Oh yeah? Oh,
yes.
Like by just not what, but by whom?
Well, we met a couple of friends, a couple of new people. They were both designers, and so I don't know how somehow they started talking about that Violet was related to you, and one of the guys said, your grandmother looks just like the woman from Three's Company.
Yeah, well.
You do. You look just like her.
Yeah.
Uncanny.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I was telling her, Alan just went out to get your tequila, I guess, and I was telling them how the guys that wore the shoot was yesterday, how they started imitating you opening the show, and that you're becoming renowned for your openings, Al.
Okay, who was making fun
the
of?
The 2 owners of the house where we shot the John Ritter special yesterday. Or
Oh.
So, last supplement of the day. When you are commenting on someone who is no longer here, the responsibility to be absolutely accurate and fair. And sometimes the questions asked of me yesterday of, well, he did, and do you think he did? I'd say, I cannot get inside John's head. I don't know what I think is, but this is just my supposition. So it was very interesting. He's gone too soon, gone way too soon. And the more I talked about him, the heavier my heart got, because when it was good with John and I, it was so good. And then they showed that clip of my favorite show, and I guess it's probably the most renowned of the ones we did together, where I was handcuffed to Jack Tripper. Chrissy Snow and Jack Tripper were handcuffed.
That was funny.
Yeah, and I watched it, and I saw the dance between us. I saw the magnificence of, I always knew what he was going to do, and he always knew what I was going to do, and it was like a ping pong ball game across the table. I'd bang it across, he'd bang it back. I've never been very good at ping pong, but I sure was good with John Ritter, and probably the greatest acting partner, not probably, the greatest acting partner I've ever had. And I worked with Anthony Hopkins too, who was wonderful. John Ritter, I loved every moment that I worked with him. He was just a spectacular talent. I put him in a category. I only have 2 people in this category. He's the greatest physical comic of our generation, along with Dick Van Dyke. And Dick Van Dyke, I know Dick Van Dyke very, very well. I consider him a friend. And when you're with Dick Van Dyke, he's 95 years old. He can't stop dancing. He just can't stop dancing. When they go shopping, he and his wife is much younger than he is, and she's the right wife for him. She keeps him young. She has him around young people, 50 years old, but when you're 95, 50 is really young. And they have singing groups and things, but like they go out for breakfast at Coogie's, which is a place in Malibu, and all of a sudden Dick will start singing, and then people will just stand around and Dick will just sing, or Dick will start dancing. If she's shopping in the store, he'll start dancing, and he's not doing it to show off. He just can't stop singing, can't stop moving, can't stop being Dick Van Dyke. He's just a doll. And in working with John Ritter, he was, it seemed effortless, and that's when you're super talented. Nothing was calculated and thought through, and I missed my mark. He never missed a mark because he would just do it. He would flip over the sofa, and then if we had to do that scene again, he'd flip over the sofa again. It'd be pretty much the same thing, but he wasn't counting out the dance or anything like that. He was just a brilliant talent. So tell them what they get today, Johnny.
Okay. So today, it's 25% off the entire site. Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we are featuring toxic-free essentials. And the promo code is CLEAN25. Here it is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I have in front of me right here is so important. It's so important. Do you know we all have a toxic burden? And what is the toxic burden? Well, I've done this for you before, but let's say you spray your rooms with air freshener. Okay, that's one level of toxicity that you're taking into your lungs. And then you clean your house with, toxic chemicals. They do the job really great, and they really get it clean. But now you're breathing in all that stuff, not only when you're doing it yourself, and I know because I'm a cleaner, and Caroline will vouch for me. I clean. I love cleaning my own house. I have help, but
she comes from a long line of things.
I do. My mother used to tell me about my aunts who came from Ireland, who used to live in the big mansions in San Francisco, and I always thought, wow, we came from money. My aunts lived in big mansions, and then I said that to her one day. She said, no, they worked there. They were the maids. I said, I come from maids. But that's probably why I'm down to earth, and I am down to earth. But anyway, okay, so now you got the air freshener, you've got the toxic cleaner you're using in your house, then you clean your toilet with something, bleach, right? That's toxic, taking it in. You spray for your bugs with something. Oh, by the way, the what you spray for bugs, you're breathing all that in, and when you're drinking, diet sodas that have aspartame in them. Aspartame was originally designed as an ant poison. Mm-hmm. And okay, so now we're building up this toxic burden. You see what we're doing?
When I heard you say that the first time,
mm-hmm.
I had this vision of millions of ants, okay, all drinking diet soda, having little baby bottles,
just
little
the sweetener in it.
yeah, little baby bottles of diet soda, and just
yep. Okay, now then you put on your skin chemical expensive creams and things, the best. I know. I used to be it. I used to do all this. Okay, that's more toxins, and then toxic makeup and lead in your lipstick. Lead gets in. The brain goes, I don't know what to do with this lead. You know what I'll do for you? I'll put it in your bones. It'll stay there. It'll be fine. Except when you break and fall, that lead leaks out of your bones, and guess where it goes? Into your bloodstream and makes its way up into the brain. Remember my depiction of the brain the other day? The more chemicals that get up into the brain, the more the hypothalamus, the pineal, and the pituitary, which is what your brain is, has to shrink to get out of the way. And I had this vision, if you watched me the other day, but it was a small show because it was at 1 p.m. I envisioned the brain, the hypothalamus, the pineal, and pituitary over in the corner going, there's no more room. Chemical bad guys are over there. And then more would rush in because the next meal comes in. Oh, gosh, there's no more room. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I do write books, and I do know a lot of stuff. But and this is me, Suzanne. Is it any wonder we have so many brain issues? That dementia and Alzheimer's is at epidemic levels.
But also loss of memory.
Well, that's Alzheimer's and yeah, brain issues.
Yeah.
And then the young people, like my granddaughters, Caroline's daughters, ate perfect. Her house is perfect, but at school they had mold, and that reacts like chemicals. It creates a ADD and ADHD and OCD and these things. And then poor little Violet, my granddaughter, got bit by a Lyme tick when she went to visit her friend back east in the summer. I don't know if any of you have had Lyme, but it just doesn't want to leave your body, and no doctor really knows how to get rid of it. It's years of detoxing. So knowing that it's okay, I think with what I've talked to you about, we're choking now, right? Your toxic burden is all the way up here. You can hardly breathe anymore, right? Because you're so choked with toxic burden, and your poor liver, which is your major detox organ, is groaning. I was never meant to handle all these things. I don't know what to do with all these things. And the liver shuts down. You wonder why we're sick? And you wonder why I have these shows. I have these shows to have fun with you and have a glass of tequila and my date with Al every night at 5. But I'm bringing to you today things that do the job without harming you or your family. My goal is to I've got us off all chemicals, all of it. And I was just talking to someone who works on my property who was talking about all the issues that other members of her family have. But I said, that is why here we don't use any chemicals on this property anywhere. And she said, I feel the difference. So what we're going to talk about tonight is our non-toxic eco cleaner. It's so great. What you do is you put I put like an inch on the bottle here. You get an empty bottle and go, huh? What? But you need the spray bottle.
Well, you have to read the directions.
Yeah, but it says on the side here, put a few drops. You can do it with a few drops. I use a little more than that. I pour in there and then fill that bottle up to the top. So when you want to clean things, just go around and clean, and you're not a single chemical, okay? So that's the eco cleaner. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, and also, before you move on, that bottle of concentrate is going to get you several bottles of the diluted mix, because as Suzanne said, you just put a little bit of the concentrate, you fill the rest with water. So that is going to, mine has lasted, I don't know, I'm on like 4 or 5 months now, and I still have plenty of concentrate. I don't know what the price of this is. I hear it's a little pricey, but you're getting a lot of months worth of eco cleaner here, and protection for your body and your family's body. It makes such a difference. Yeah, it's $45 before the discount, so then you'll take 25% off of that.
Okay, so yeah, it's pricey. Our products
are several months,
and our products, I want you to know, are pricey for us to make products of this quality. Each one of these things. Believe me, when people come over here, I don't freely pass out samples to friends, because each one of these things costs us a lot. Now, the next thing is toothpaste. How many chemicals are we taking in from using commercial toothpaste? This is clean. This is clean toothpaste, and do we have the insignia? I don't see the insignia on this, huh? Well, it's toothpaste with stabilized oxygen, fluoride-free. You don't want fluoride. You know what fluoride is? I wrote about it in one of my books, I think Breakthrough. Fluoride.
Suzanne, I love this. I'd love for you to talk about this so much, but the AMA does not. So unfortunately, I'm going to ask that you just tell people to look up why they might want to consider a fluoride-free toothpaste.
Okay.
I hate to do that to you. It's just me protecting AMA. Doesn't like it.
I get it.
Okay.
Read. I think it's in my book Breakthrough. You can probably read about it. Okay.
Suzanne does not use fluoride. There's a reason she doesn't use fluoride. Yeah. If you look on the back of your toothpaste, if it has fluoride in it, the back of the toothpaste says if you swallow more than a pea-sized amount of toothpaste to call poison control.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And most people go out of their way to buy toothpaste with fluoride because we've been indoctrinated to think it's better. So
Suzanne, Because that's a fluoride-free, and it uses stabilized oxygen, which helps for the whitening and brightening, and real peppermint oil, and it's an amazing product.
And you won't stink. I love that commercial for, what is it, for emu oil? And you won't stink. Okay, and then outdoor body spray. I'm not allowed to call it I can't even tell you what it is. It's just, if you have things flying around in your air where you live and you don't want to spray the poison stuff all over you, this is what I use.
You can say, you're allowed to say that you can spray this because bugs don't like the smell of it.
Bugs don't like this. Bugs don't like this, so.
But it is not as, if you're putting a chemical poison on your body in the form of bug spray, it is a bigger deterrent to bugs. So we can't say that you can use it in place of something like DEET because, you have people who don't want to get bitten for many reasons. So you have to decide,
for the not so bad bugs.
Exactly. This is like
for the not so bad guys.
Like the smell of it. It is a deterrent.
Yeah.
But maybe not as much as.
Yeah. All right.
Toxic
So
poisons.
the next thing is deodorant, and I used to use a deodorant that had aluminum in it until I read about the deleterious effects of aluminum and more toxins, right? Our body, our liver didn't want aluminum. So what I like about this is, first of all, and on the kind of bug spray there, we have the insignia, the certified toxic-free, meaning it's grown organically, extracted organically, nothing upwind or downwind of the product is toxic to contaminate it. This really works for me. It keeps you from, I don't smell any body odor on me, and I use this every day. And I was using another kind of natural deodorant, and it was making my underarms really itchy. And so I thought, that's a language. Anytime you get an itch or a rash or any kind of thing that you think is, I'm itchy, that's your body talking. That's the body language I'm always talking about. Listen to your body language. It's so smart. It's telling you all the time, I don't like that, or something's missing. That's the message you're always getting. And then finally the everyday cleanser, which I can't say enough about. I used it this morning, put it all over, and last night I put it all over my face and eyes. We went out last night, or did we go out last night? Did we go out last night, Alan?
Last night, no.
Why did I have makeup on when oh, I know, because I did the John Ritter special. I did the show, right.
Yeah.
Because when I went to go to bed, I had makeup on. And I only wear makeup if I'm doing the show. And I put the everyday cleanser all over, and it just felt so good. And I just was gently rubbing my eyes, and it was removing my mascara and all the makeup on my face. And then I took a warm cloth. That's where I like the leopard washcloths. Put the warm leopard washcloth over my face and held it there for a minute, and then wiped it off. And I couldn't see the mascara because it's leopard, but all of a sudden my face was glowing and soft and fresh, and I had no eye makeup on, I had no face makeup on, which is when Alan likes me best.
Yeah. So
He likes to kiss a makeupless face.
Yes, that's true.
I woke up the other morning, Alan, and do you know that you had your hand on my face? I guess you'd been rubbing my face, but I woke up with this whole hand on my face. I thought, it's a little claustrophobic. I think it's really nice. And I'm really, pleased that you're so affectionate, but I can't breathe.
By the way, so Stacy says, love the bug spray, great for mosquitoes, and we have, in caps, big ones in Texas.
Oh, I bet.
You know that I used to work, when I was living in Canada, I was a kid. When I was around 14, I worked at a place called the Tides Hotel in Jackson's Point. I was the bellhop and the
Come over here and tell them.
parking attendant. And when we were bored, what we would do, there were a lot of mosquitoes up there in the summertime. When we were bored, we used to hold our arms out, our bare arms, and eventually a mosquito would land on our bare arm. And while the mosquito was sniffing around and getting ready to put their, whatever they call that thing is, where they put their poison in you,
biting you,
we had a magnifying glass. And we would hold the magnifying glass over the mosquito from the sun until the mosquito wings started smoking. Okay.
Only you.
We were bored.
Only you.
Okay. But it was one way to get rid of mosquitoes. Odd. I know.
I love your oddness, but you are odd.
I know. Well, it wasn't just me. It was everybody.
Was that your boyfriend, Ichi, or what was his name?
Gibby?
Gibby.
No, Gibby was my boyfriend when I was going to school.
And it's funny that you have Gibby and my father had Beachy Brosio. We used to talk about Beachy Brosio. People don't have friends names like that anymore. I love those names.
I was Chicky the Arm Calhoun.
Chicky the Arm Calhoun.
Yeah.
Chicky the Arm Calhoun, dinner's ready. Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, no, my mother refused to call me Chicky the Arm Calhoun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these were my buddies. We all had these names.
Why would you get a name Chicky the Arm Calhoun?
Well, because I was really good at arm wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a little trick I used.
My arm wrestlers?
Your arm wrestlers?
Remember in Italy?
Oh yeah, well, you mean when I left you in Rada, in the little center of the village, to go get an umbrella? When I came back, you were gone. You were in a bar with a bunch of field workers, and they were all arm wrestling to show you how strong they were, and maybe you'd like to go out tonight.
But then a guy from the bar, the Swiss dentist, came over and he said, they're showing off for you. And I said, they are? And he said, yeah. And then I got real friendly with him. He was so nice. And then Alan walks in. I'm sitting with this guy at a table. It's in Italy, because Caroline's in Italy right now. It's common to have a glass of red wine and bruschetta for breakfast. And you kind of get used to it. It's sort of nice. So Alan walks into this bar. It's a little corner bar, which I happen to love, little corner bars. And he said, I can't leave you alone for 5 minutes. And I said, no, but this is Dr. Blah Blah from Switzerland, and we ended up being such good friends with this guy. We ended up staying. He bought an old ruin up in the hill above Rada in Chianti, and he restored it and brought it back to its better than original glory. And he had a local woman who was the chef, Primetta. And Primetta would come in the morning, she'd make bruschetta, and then she'd make sauce. All Italian mothers make sauce. They make sauce, and all amazing. It's amazing. And so we became such good friends. So it's good when I pick up men.
It is good.
Yeah.
That worked out.
Because, I never want anybody but you.
I know.
You do know that.
And I always turn up and the guys go, oh, great.
Yeah.
The husband. Yeah, we need the husband here.
But I'm friendlier than you are publicly.
That's true.
And so when I see somebody who seems nice, I will strike up a conversation. I actually I strike up a conversation with just about everybody.
Yeah,
I'm like your husband, Caroline.
I'm more selective.
What?
He's friendly.
Yeah, he's friendly. And I have to say he had to have gotten that from me, because I just always talk. I love people. I love them. And he does too. And Al's a little more
reserved.
Yeah.
It takes a while for me to get friendly.
Yeah. But then when you do, then you never stop talking.
That's true.
You talk and talk and talk. And it's now when we want to go home, it used to be me. Now I have to say, don't tell that story. It's going to take forever. We're on the way out the door. And then you'll say, I remember when. And so I think, no.
Do you stick your finger in ribs and poke?
Yeah. Yeah. He used to poke me in the back, like drove me insane.
It was a little signal.
I feel this in my wing.
A little signal.
It's like,
okay. So I have to.
What they got.
Okay. So it's 25% off the entire site today, which is great. And today we're featuring toxic-free essentials. The promo code is CLEAN25. Okay?
And the toxic-free eco cleanser is good for windows, counters, floors, stovetops, bathrooms, dishes, cars. and anything else you can think of. It's good for everything. It's so good. I love using it, and when I get I spill. I don't know about you. Alan doesn't spill. I spill. I think I'm such an exuberant eater that there's always something that ends up on the front of me. But I always have one of these around, and I.
Oh, Bruce spills too. He's a spiller.
He is. I hope I didn't teach him that, but probably. That's funny. I didn't know that about him.
Cup of coffee, like inside the car.
I didn't know that. That's funny. That's
Okay, so Grace Colbert says, men sometimes get the wrong notions. If you are friendly, be careful.
You're right, Grace.
Yep.
But it also depends upon the woman. There's a line you never cross, and I never cross that line. Why would I? I'm married to Alan Hamill. I'm just friendly, and I can kind of pick out men who are. I like men. I can pick out men who I can be friendly with. But I know what you mean, Grace. But I have my inner. That's enough. That's enough.
Well,
any man who goes over that line, it makes you like step back. Yeah.
I mean, I've had ladies who have
women love you.
Flirted with me.
Oh, beyond.
Okay.
Beyond.
Well, especially when
they want me to just go away.
Well, when we were working in Vegas for 10 years.
Yeah. So wonderful.
And we did that show where there were a number of women who were over 6 feet tall, who
are the dancers?
who were topless.
Yes.
And then in the hallway,
the big showgirls.
That's right. In the hallway on the way to the stage, they would always stop and we would talk. And because I was 6 feet tall and they with heels were 6'4", I had trouble. I had to look up.
Where were your eyes now?
In order to make eye contact.
So they wasn't looking at their boobs.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't do that at all. And
you're a horny guy, but not horny in that creepy, cringy way.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, as a matter of fact,
just appreciate women. Alan loves women.
Yeah, when we got married, I remember I said to you, I don't want to be one of those guys when there's a beautiful woman or a great-looking man, for that matter, or an interesting woman or an interesting-looking man in the room, where I have to sort of grab a quick glance so my wife doesn't see it. Now, I don't sort of laser focus on anybody, but I like to look at, interesting and or beautiful people.
Beauty is to behold.
And you said, okay, you can look but don't touch. And I said, that's cool. Now, what happens if I do touch? Well, we won't tell everyone.
Would we cry or scissors?
We won't tell everyone what you said to me.
Yeah. I gotta cry. Yeah.
Yeah, life. Okay.
So Caroline,
the party continues here. Violet just got home.
Hey Violet, hi honey.
Your grandmother's saying hi. Hi Sammy.
What are you doing up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I'm partying.
Wow. I want your life, Violet.
It's been fun. We went to a really trashy European club. We left after 20 minutes.
Nice.
And Violet's friend Faye is here. She's also a designer. So.
Hello.
Yeah, we're having a fun late night in Florence.
Yeah. Yeah, not us here. We're going to finish the show, go down and eat my roast chicken dinner and call it a day. We're watching the Romanovs. Have you seen that?
Oh, have you seen it? Yeah? No, I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
it's several stories about the Romanovs who were all killed because it's King Casimir, right?
No.
I got my kings upset.
You got your countries and centuries mixed up. No, they were all killed.
Wait, Caroline.
They were all killed in 1917, I believe, 16 or 17, when the communists marched into Russia. Okay, and they decided they didn't want any more czars, that they were going to take over and turn Russia into this incredible country country. So what they did, and this is typical of communism, they got rid of, first of all, they killed all of the Romanovs, the entire
Why?
family,
Why?
the women, the children,
Why?
to get rid of previous history. They didn't want previous history.
Oh.
It's happening, it's kind of, I'm not going to get into politics. Yeah, not getting into politics. But, communism 101 is where you destroy the previous history and then you create your own history moving forward.
Get rid of the Romanovs.
So the same thing.
Why are we watching the series about modern day Romanovs?
Because there are a number of people in the world who claim that they are related to the Romanovs, and we know one of those people.
What did they went to like Ancestry.com or something like that?
Well, that I don't know.
You're Romanovs.
That I don't know.
And is there any payoff for being a Romanov? Or is that what it's all about?
I think just that you're a Romanov. There used to be a restaurant in L.A. called Romanovs.
I get it. I get the feeling in the series we're watching that I just totally get into this one life, and now we're in a second life. And now today we finished a second life, and tonight we'll watch a third life. I think there are like 8 or 9 supposed descendants who all are living out that they are actually the ones deserving of getting that treasure. Whatever.
Well,
anyway, they're interesting stories.
Yeah, they claim that they've dug up the remains of some of the Romanovs. I don't know how they knew that, because I don't think they had a marker when they threw them in the ground. And they're doing DNA testing, etc. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. And I mean...
the same thing happened in 1949 when Mao Zedong...
I was 3.
Mao Zedong, and all his people took over China, and Chiang Kai-shek went to what is now,
Beijing.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
And Mao Zedong got rid of all the previous history and created his own history going forward.
Our friend Yusai Khan, she lives in Shanghai and Beijing and New York. Extremely sophisticated and beautiful and really funny woman. I love her so much. I talk to her every week. And she brought us to this musical in Beijing that showed the history and all the beauty of the Chinese culture and the silks and the golden threads and the clothes that they wore and the lives that they lived, until Mao came in and took all that away and put them all in those blue outfits. And it was quite a shocking story to see. And she wanted us to see the history of the country. And now they're back in their silks and their gold threads and things. And anyway, she's a very interesting woman. That wasn't much of a story. Had no payoff, anything. I just wanted you to know that I really like her a lot.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah, I really like her.
Yeah. So,
Actually watching a period piece.
so Bonita Schreiber says
And I'm
to
watching the
you,
period piece, yeah.
thank you. Where is it here? Where is Bonita? God, this thing pops. Oh, here it is. Bonita Schreiber, thank you for changing my life. I love Gut Renew.
Oh,
it has changed my life. Wow.
Yeah.
Should we talk a little bit about Gut Renew?
This woman that I was talking about earlier in the show who works on the property here, and I guess I had given her Gut Renew, and she said, I never tried it. I just took it home and said thank you, but I didn't try it. She said, as of late, I'm putting on a lot of weight and been having issues. And she said, and I don't eat breakfast, so I don't have time to make these recipes that you talk about. She said, but I just added some water to the powder, and she said, it tastes really good. I said, with water only? She said, yeah. And I can't tell you how great I'm starting to feel. So if you're really lazy, like this friend of mine, and you don't want to make a full smoothie and put the banana and the peanut butter and the chocolate almond milk and the coconut milk and all that, according to her, she said just adding some water to a glass with the Gut Renew, you can get the same results. It's all about getting those 2 scoops per person per day.
And it's interesting because Kanai's boyfriend's been doing the same thing because he's shooting down in Mexico, and he's been repeatedly getting sick from the food in Mexico. So the only thing he's living on Gut Renew.
Well,
with water because he's too scared to even put fruit in it.
I understand. I
Yeah,
don't
tell them
recall,
to be careful of the water
I
down
don't
there.
recall a trip to Mexico where I didn't get that whole. They called it Montezuma's revenge. It's the water. They do not keep their water clean like we do here. They don't have the same standards.
I haven't had any issues in Cabo, but he's a little deeper.
Yeah, in Cabo.
So I think it depends on where you're staying.
Yeah, Cabo is a little more Americanized. You can't run
But you don't.
places
You
like
still.
the Palmilla.
You still don't drink water out of the
No,
tap.
I don't.
Anywhere
no.
in
But
Mexico.
I don't either. I don't here in America either.
Yeah, right.
Other than, if you wanted to, I don't sell this. Okay, look at Alan wants you to know what the deal is today. How much off do they get?
25% off the entire site. We're featuring these toxic-free essentials in front of you. The promo code is CLEAN25. Okay?
Okay.
Great deal.
At the Americanized resorts in Cabo, like Palmilla, and what's the one next to Palmilla? There are two of them.
I don't know.
But we've always stayed at the Palmilla. They can't risk America's getting Montezuma's revenge. They can't. So they must do what they have to do to make sure that their water and the water you shower in, because it's not just the drinking water, it's all the water you bathe in, the water you shower in. What we have done in our home in Malibu and our home here is we put in, and it's not all that expensive, like a couple of $1,000s. Okay, yeah, it's not.
No, not even that.
Not even.
It's
Okay.
$1,500.
To purify the water in the entire house.
It's a lot. By the way, it's a lot of money, but when you think about what you spend on a bottle of water, think how crazy this is.
Toxic burden. So now you're eliminating fluoride. I can't tell you how joyous it is to be able to drink water from the tap. We have in our kitchen, we have an additional thing that we installed that purifies, or you can get acidic water. Acidic is when you're washing your vegetables. The acidic water will clean up all the fungus and everything that's on your vegetables. But to know that you're bathing in clean, purified water and showering in clean, purified water and washing your hair in clean, purified water and then using our toxic-free shampoos, can you see where the toxic burden, which is choking all of us, with what I've talked about, you can start lessening it, and you keep taking away toxin after toxin after toxin after toxin. Imagine getting to a place where your body is no longer toxic. I don't know if I'm there, but I'm close, and I know that Alan is so clean, and our testing comes back so great. It's so worth it. I'm not kidding. It's so worth it to go this little extra distance, because what you spend on getting toxic-free products, skincare, hair care, color cosmetics, household cleaning products, the bug kind of spray, deodorant, toothpaste, everything, you'll save so much in the long run in buying over-the-counter remedies to take away the effects of what these toxic things have done to you.
It's so interesting, Suzanne, because people don't realize we're just trying to clean our houses, brush our teeth, make sure we don't smell, avoid getting mosquito bites, wash our face. We're not looking at the things that we use and thinking, oh, this is probably bad for me. You think you're like doing a chore.
Yeah, it is.
Or doing some self-care. And it isn't until someone like you comes along and looks into these things and does the research that you go, well, I had no idea there were chemicals in there. Like, it's just like something you're using to clean, but I didn't think it was actually bad for my health. They all add up, like you said. So, thank you for, making so many people aware of the things that can be in conventional products that you just won't use in yours.
Al wants to make an appearance now.
Well, no, I had a request.
You're so beautiful.
Sandy DeMarco said,
so
would you pop in and blow us a kiss?
Give them a kiss.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
I used to look at that Dos Equis guy, the sexiest man alive. This guy here. You think I like him?
Actually, you know who the new sexiest man alive is
know.
on People magazine coming up?
Who? I don't know. Who?
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, well, different strokes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're my kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're my kind of guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Tammy Bertuccio said, I gave some gut renew to my son this week because he said he has been constipated. He said his stomach feels so much better now. He wants a smoothie every day like me.
How great. And you know what's great about that story? It's not a laxative. It's not like this violent
Right. We
thing.
don't sell it as that.
No, it's not violent at all. What it does is supports the barrier wall so that all this sludge, we know what sludge is,
Sludge.
that's stuck up here in the upper intestine, finally is released to come down, and you'll feel it. You'll get it. You'll have a day when something right here is like, oh, what's that? And that is the moment before a blessed moment. Imagine
a religious
when that moment
experience.
comes, have angels singing, ah, and the string section going, because when it goes, I'm coming out. It's so incredible. It's so incredible. There are days when we've been together so
I know
long.
what you're going to say. You want to say, I wish Mommy were here now so she could see
No, I don't need Mommy.
Oh, okay.
I just sometimes go, Al, you have to come here. And he sometimes goes, Suzanne.
Yeah, okay. I know Suzanne.
That's when we've been there together too long.
Bruce calls it OOTW.
Out of the water?
Yeah.
Out of the water. I get it. When you have one of those, you know what a perfect poo is? When it's a pile that's out of the water, and when you wipe yourself, there's nothing there. It's clean because it came out like.
Well, bon appetit, everybody.
And it's the consistency of peanut butter.
And the consistency of peanut butter. And when you wipe your, you know what? It's clean because it just came out. Did you know?
No hard pellets.
In the 60s, I read a book. I was alive in the 60s and thriving. Dr. Bernard Jensen, he was the first one who got me on a health kick. And he said something that I've never forgotten. Life is a flow. It's about flowing through you and out of you. And then he went on to explain what that was. And I so get that. What you want is to take in the highest quality fuel, i.e. your food, organic food, all those things, and you want it to flow through you easily and then come out of you easily, and it's a constant in and out. You get the nutrients, and if you've got the right hydrochloric acid in your stomach, it breaks down your food and sends, okay, let's send these vitamins here and these nutrients here and these minerals here. Our body is this most magnificent machine. And it's amazing. I always say, if you owned a Maserati and you spent all your money on your Maserati, you would take perfect care of your Maserati. If you heard the language of your Maserati, a tick or a dink or whatever, you would take it right to the mechanic. But you'd fix the whatever worn out parts. Why do we not value this Maserati, which outdoes a Maserati car? There's no comparison. This is the most magnificent machine. And so it's about self-esteem and about valuing yourself, your human being, to operate at max at all times for all time. And where Alan and we had his birthday last Saturday, but his actual birthday is Wednesday. We're having a show Wednesday, aren't we, Caroline?
Yes, birthday show.
Alan's birthday. You all have to come to Alan's birthday party, okay? Next Wednesday, June 30th. Alan will be 85. He makes 85 desirable. Anybody who looks at Alan Hamill says, I'd like to be 85.
So true.
And it is true. And you know what's great about him, and you know because you work with him on this level, Caroline, he is a visionary. He's so smart. He sees it. He smells bullshit. People love making deals with Alan Hamill. They always go, he's tough, but he's fair. He's so fair. I've learned so much from you, Alan.
Well, I'm glad I showed up today.
I'm glad. I'm sure you
Wow.
But anyway, you're going to have a nice birthday party with us here.
Okay.
Next Wednesday. 5 o'clock, Big Al's Bar. Well, we can't be in Big Al's Bar right now because of it's 118 most days here right now. It's god awful. This is not desirable. If I wasn't packing up and getting ready to move into our new place, I wouldn't be here during the summer. It's that hot. But Alan likes it. He walks out in the morning and it's 100 when we leave our bedroom. He goes, isn't it beautiful? I go, not when you're Irish. When you're Irish, you want to be on a bluff in a wool coat with a bunch of sheep and like a pink face from all the cold. What, Alan? You reading somebody?
No, I'm just Tammy Bertuccio says, "Happy early birthday, Al." Thank you.
Tammy, did he butcher your last name, Bertuccio?
It's Bertuccio.
Oh, can you smell our roast chicken coming up here?
No, not yet.
Below me, right here, is my kitchen.
And also, Kelly Dean has the same birthday. Yeah, maybe we should all get together, on my birthday. Everyone who's celebrating.
Graduation is the same day as your birthday. We're all going to be celebrating.
Yeah.
There was a violin player in New York many years ago. His name was Joe Fanucci, Joe Fanucci, I think. Joe Fanucci. And Joe Fanucci was really mischievous. And what he would do is he also booked other musicians to do wedding parties and bar mitzvahs and special events, etc. So he would do things like he would book every bass player in New York City to meet at the corner of 33rd and 3rd.
He'd book them and pay them?
No, he would book them to turn up for a gig at 33 and 33rd and 3rd, right? Mm-hmm. And 150 bass players would show up. That was his little joke, okay?
I don't quite get it.
Well, he was mischievous, okay? Oh. I could tell you something he did with, not Hopalong Cassidy, Gene Autry. When Gene Autry
How old are you?
Gene Autry.
Why did you know who Gene Autry is? I do.
Gene Autry was in Madison Square Gardens, and they were doing a rodeo or something, and he was about to ride out into the audience on his horse, Champion. I think his horse was Champion, something like that. And so Joe Fanucci was talking to Gene, who was up on the horse, and Joe was standing on the floor, and Joe used his violin bow to do something with the horse. I'm not going to tell you what he did.
Imagine.
But when Gene Autry rode out and pulled the horse back so the horse stood up on 2 feet, the audience saw.
He had a baton. Here's a horse, and the horse has a penis. Put it together. Put it together. Can you bring these 2 bags over to me?
Of course.
We've got all the toxic free here. This I don't know how long this will last you. This lasts me a long time, the Eco Cleaner. I just want to tell you about the Gut Renew. This is the Gut Renew, where we just recently ordered, and Caroline will attest to this, 72 tons of this because you all have had such a phenomenal reaction to taking 2 scoops, the little scoop is in there, 2 scoops in your smoothie every morning and make your smoothie any way you want it. When I was trying to put on a little weight after surgery earlier this year, I was putting cream in I was putting coconut milk, almond milk, yogurt, the frozen bananas or peaches or whatever I put in there, and then I'd add a little cream in it, and that was good. I'm not doing the cream anymore because I put on my weight now. I'm all back. But anyway, I am so proud of this product because it's answered what you all asked me to bring you. You all said to me, I read it over and over and over, I'm bloated, I'm constipated, I've got gas all the time, I'm unexplained weight gain, I'm dog tired, my hair doesn't look good, my skin doesn't look good, all the things that I'm going, it's your gut is messed up, and we are, excuse me for those who watch me all the time, but we are under the greatest environmental assault in the history of humanity, and this toxic burden I was talking about earlier today, with the Air-Freshener and the toxins in the cosmetics and in your makeup and the lead lipstick and the all the stuff that we figured was safe because they wouldn't let it be sold if it wasn't safe. It's not. You are being affected by all of this. And what I find this does is helps loosen up the sludge, support the barrier wall, move this, I wish I could use the real word, but it starts with S and ends with a T, and let it work through you and flow through you. When you feel that feeling I was talking about earlier, when there's this release going through your small intestines, now remember, the small intestines, that's part of the barrier wall. The barrier wall is the length of a tennis court, and around the barrier wall is all this mucus. That's important for life. You know what the mucus is? Your immune system. So when all these bad chemicals get in your GI tract, it eats through that barrier wall, including the mucus, which means it's downgrading your immune system.
Okay.
What if you could have 2 of these, 2 scoops in the morning, and if you're doing the 30-day gut challenge, have a smoothie in the morning and a smoothie in the afternoon, then a healthy dinner at night. I think you'll write, like most of the women watching right now and the men are going, it changed my life. So what, Alan?
Okay, so
clearly want me to know something. I didn't feel
okay, so Lisa Chabot says, referring to me, why is he always wearing sunglasses? Christ, button up your shirt. It's 2021. You look like you're trying too hard to be sexy. Instead, you look like Gucci Daddy Pimp.
Different strokes.
I'm Gucci Daddy Pimp. Okay. I wear sunglasses because my eyes I'm very sensitive to light.
Affliction. Now
I
you
have
feel bad, don't you?
I have an affliction, okay?
He has an affliction
Sorry.
where he can't look into bright light.
Exactly.
Or it sets his face in spasm.
And in terms of my shirt, we have a dear friend who is a world. Okay, Tom Ford. I wasn't going to mention his name, but
right, Tom would be happy that.
Okay, so one night we're having dinner, and he reaches over and he unbuttons my shirt, and he says, "This is where your shirt should be unbuttoned
You have a beautiful chest, and I said, I agree.
And that's the way I've been wearing it ever since.
Yeah,
and
Carolyn had to get used to it.
But I love being Gucci Daddy Pimp.
I have to tell you, ladies, you can't, like, Alan Hamill is so secure. You can't rattle him. You really can't.
Gucci Daddy Pimp.
Gucci
You can
Daddy
call me that from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, if you're into the gut redo, buy 1 package and just see if you respond to it. But the 30-day gut challenge comes with 6 bags and this program guide, which gives you all the recipes and why this works in depth. I was going to write a book about it, but I realized if your gut is as messed up as you're all saying your guts are messed up, you don't want to sit and read a 350-page book. I started writing a book. You didn't even know that, Alan, did you?
I didn't know
started
that.
last week.
I didn't know
in front of
that.
my computer, and all of a sudden,
And why did you start on your computer?
because you fixed it.
Correct.
You fixed it. I wasn't able to use it.
I sat down. I kept
down.
pushing buttons.
And there's a day when I sit down and all of a sudden my fingers start moving. And they move with my brain. And I'm really into it. So I'll tell you later what it's about, but I'm in the early stages of it right now. I actually have 4 books in my head that I want to get out of me. Because I wasn't able to write a book last year. I wrote a book last year, A New Way to Age, which I don't know, I'm a bad promoter. I should always have one of those books here, and there's not here. But I didn't write a book. Usually when I put a book out, I'm already starting the next book, but I didn't because everything was so political, and I thought, I'm not going to get on any shows, I'm not going to be able to get on any kind of promotion because everyone's thinking about politics, and I don't want to go anywhere near politics. That's why we have so much fun together. Let's just enjoy ourselves and enjoy our life and love our lives.
We're toxic free.
We are toxic free.
So
we are toxic free. We are toxic free, and so there's gut renew, and then there's immune support. Immune support is zinc and vitamin C and some other things. And all they're talking about right now is keep your immune system strong, which is so important. And remember the length of the tennis court and the mucus around it, and that's your immune system. You got all the chemicals in your GI tract, and you're putting chemicals on your skin, and your brain is going, there's no more room in the ear for us because the toxins are coming in. how about you put a spoon of this either in a glass of water and just drink it down, tastes like a little raspberry drink, or put it in with your Gut Renew smoothie, and you get the zinc and the vitamin C and the other things that support your immune system. I think about this all the time. We need to be able to handle what has happened. If you think, well, they've ruined the atmosphere and they've ruined us with GMO foods and non-organic foods and all that, you've given up. Don't give up. This is how you win. This is how you win. Reverse it for you. You can't control the world. You can't control your country. You can't control any of that, but you can control your environment and that of your family. You are in complete control of that. And so for all of us who are the head of household, in like, we're both head of household because I am the one who keeps this house absolutely pristine, chemical free. I'm doing my part for me, for my husband, for my family when they come over, for my guests who come over here. You won't get sick in my house.
Okay, so LaFleur said, referring to Gut Renew, 3 out of 4 of my family are drinking 1 smoothie a day, and we love it.
Great, I'm so glad.
Suzanne, please keep preaching, because you're being, what's this? You're being cut off the air, and you're a blessing to humanity.
I don't think I'm being
For me, I need more time.
I don't think that I have any possibility of being canceled because
No, you know what? I think she may be referring to the fact we had audio problems the other day.
Oh, okay.
I think that was
I
probably.
think she just thinks this the show's almost over.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah.
We're done.
Oh, wow. That went fast. Was that fun?
Okay, one more time
Okay.
before we say goodbye.
Yeah.
It's 25% off site-wide, the entire site. Check out the entire site. We've got so many great products. And we're featuring today the toxic-free essentials. The promo code is CLEAN25, and it's all happening on SuzanneSomers.com. If you've never been to SuzanneSomers.com, check it out. It's a great journey. You'll find stuff there that's really interesting.
I love this hour with you.
And good for
I
you.
really do. Come over here, Alan, and say goodbye to everybody.
Okay, while you're on your way over, I'm going to make one quick announcement. For those of you who have had the original Gut Renew, we have in the more recent bags, the size of the scoop increased a little bit because we realized people weren't getting the full amount because they weren't packing it tightly enough. So the new scoop is a little bit bigger and it's a little easier to measure so that you're getting what we state on the nutrition facts panel.
And
it's 10 servings a bag.
I, being an excessive person, I always put heaping spoonfuls. What do you do?
Either way.
Yeah. How great to be with all of you. I'll see you on Monday, okay? And then again Wednesday, and then again Friday. I love our. I'm so glad we had this time together.
Yeah, only people over 60 know what this means.
I know, but she is a doll. She's still alive. Yeah, Carol Burnett. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming.